Welcome back. It is the Honolulu Blues Show. It is I didn't even have my flag in the thing, but it is
Adam, you missed the flag
Monday. Show. I know. Monday, April 24th, I believe. I don't know. It's almost draft day, though. So that's what's on the top of our talking list today. But unfortunately, the Lions were in a bit of trouble this past week. They were being bad boys, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Julius, my man, anything new with you? How's it been?
Everything is going good. Everything's well. The draft has finally came along and is coming along here, so I'm very happy about that.
Love to hear it. Nick, how many times have you watched Draft Day yet, and does your daughter love it?
That's a great question. I've not made her watch it yet.
No, you got to put her through it.
Isn't it a PG-13 movie? No, I mean, I don't know. I don't care anything about that. I haven't had her watch it. I don't think that would keep her attention too much. But I've only seen it once this year. However, that was just this morning, and it was awesome. And I love that movie so much. I did not realize it was just streaming on HBO Max. I thought I was going to have to rent it somewhere, which I was ready to rent it for like $3.99. I was ready to spend $4 out of my pocket to watch that movie this year, and it was free. And then I watched Any Given Sunday right after it. It's just been a football-filled movie day, and it's been great. And I'm excited to keep talking drafts.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Yeah, for me, I've drafted. I have the hard copy DVD, but I lost it. I was trying to give it to my girlfriend's little brother some time ago, and it just got lost somewhere. But it's either like in a basement over there, or it's at my house. So I'll find it. If not, I'll just have to hook up the old HBO Max again and get that going.
Yeah, I don't think even like physical DVDs are a thing. I don't have a DVD. Like, I mean, I guess you can play in like everyone's got video game consoles.
Yeah, pop of the old Xbox.
Yeah, you're right. I forget about that. I'm old. I don't even have a video game. Yeah, I can't put it in my Oculus or my original Wii, so I can't do it.
See now, I know NBA you can like watch the games live. Have you seen any type of Oculus where like could you watch a Lions game with like the Oculus?
I've not seen football, no, but baseball and NBA for sure. And you watch it like you're sitting right in the front row. It's pretty darn cool. Also, you can like watch Netflix on it, and it like puts you in like a couch. You're like on a couch in this like log cabin in like Mount Everest or something. It's like you're surrounded by mountains if you look out the windows, and like this fireplace is going, and you just got Netflix on this giant screen TV that you're watching. Cool. It is really cool. It is really cool. And then, like I said, for like the games, you sit like your front row at the game, but it's like delayed, and it's not just like you're there, but it is the closest thing that I've ever felt. So that's pretty cool. But I don't pay for that stuff. I used my Oculus a ton last year, and I put it away for the summer, and I did not get it out this winter.
Got to bust her back out soon.
I do.
Deal Oculus out. But not here to talk about Oculus. No. We got some Lions news. I was kind of bummed because this was the type of news that I would have gotten, like not first, but like with Adam Schefter, Tom Pelleroso, because a while back, I don't know if you guys remember, but Brawl had us, at least me, sign up for the NFL communications. So some link that they sent me that I signed up for, they give me all these like direct NFL statements before they're all posted, tweeted. Like I get it 1 to 2 minutes before, and I didn't see it. I was so mad, and I saw the tweets, but had I been able to see that email, I wish I would have been able to get that full shock factor, because sports betting, what the heck, man? Not just one, not just two, not just three, but four. Like, how do we have 4 Detroit Lions doing this? And some people were thinking, oh, maybe this was, a big sting job. There's some other teams are going to have a couple guys. No, there was one other player at Washington Commanders. Nobody, dude. And I love how these guys are like in the NFL, like CJ Moore, Quintez Cephas. You guys have your dream jobs. You're barely holding on to them. And you're you're gambling. You like, come on. You can't say you didn't know the rules when Calvin Ridley, a very, very well-known wide receiver, your position, just got suspended the entire year for it. So Jameson Williams, his was a little bit different. He obviously got the 6-game suspension along with Stanley Berryhill, I think one of our special teams guys. But I actually don't know for sure what Berryhill's was, but Jameson's was, he was betting inside the Lions facility or around the Lions facility, but not on NFL games. It was on other sports. So, boys, what was some of the first thoughts when we saw this? Was this just it was almost like a head shake. Like, no, this isn't same old Lions.
Julius, you want to start us off?
I was pretty SOL'd about it. I'm not gonna lie. I was disappointed because Jameis, like the Stanley Berryhill, even CJ Moore, it seems like I just didn't see this coming. This kind of blindsided me, guys, and I'm sure it blindsided everybody in the Lions fandom. Like Jameson Williams losing him for 6 games. I mean, we were out of all of the players on the Lions team, he's the one I think we are the most hype about. Like, I mean, Aiden Hutchinson, we got to see him last year, but with Jameson being injured most of last season, and the little spurts of greatness he did show us, and he's starting to show these signs of like, I don't want to question the guy character just yet, but he's just starting to show certain signs that I hope that's not who he is. I hope this is stuff that he can grow from. I really, really hope, because we're counting on big things from Jameson Williams. It was just overall disappointing for me.
Yeah, that was a day we had to turn the Lions flag upside down. It was a tragic day in Lions fans' history. It was. There was a tweet I put out a couple months ago. I was like, we're going 16-1 this year. And people were like, you might be right. Like the hype behind this season and the Kool-Aid that's flowing and the bandwagoners that are coming. This is not a great look. This just was not a great look to start off this like Super Bowl idea of a season. Like this is our year. We are the betting favorites in so many different, to win the North, to play in the NFC Championship, like to be in the Super Bowl. Like we are up there more than we've ever been before. Originally, when this news broke, I was livid. And in fact, so livid that I was pushing that Detroit, not in the NFL. The NFL can suspend J-Mo for however long they want. Detroit needs to suspend him all season. And that's honestly what I was thinking was, sorry, J-Mo, I don't know what to tell you. This is quite the boneheaded move. It just is, okay? Like, it's not the worst thing in the world. Like what CJ Moore and Quintez Cephas did, betting on Lions games, that's the worst thing. That's the dumbest thing you could have ever done. We were all born and raised with people like Pete Rose, hearing the stories, about Pete Rose, Shoeless Joe Jackson, these people who throw these games, the Donovan, the referee for the NBA, I can't remember his name. Donovan Edward, that's a running back. I can't remember his name. Bill Donovan or something. I can't remember. Anyways.
Donahue.
Tim
Donahue. Tim Donahue.
Perfect. Anyways. That kind of, I'm just saying, we all know these stories of like betting, and it's just like, you would never do that. You'd never do that. And I don't care if it's your game or not. If you're in the NFL, just don't bet. Just don't do it. Especially like Adam said, you saw Calvin Ridley, who also, like, I don't know, he wasn't betting on Atlanta. He was betting on NFL games, right? It just wasn't.
It was like DraftKings or FanDuel, and I think that's what J-Mo was doing too.
You just can't. Do not have that app on your phone. Yes. What are you trying to get the free $200 they'll give you for betting $5 on TCU? What are we doing, J-Mo? You have so much money. Do not bet. If you want to bet, just gamble, dude. Just go play the wheel. Go play the table. Go sit down at slots for an hour or two. If you need to, like, if you have this like gambling addiction, which if you do, call someone, which anyone watching, make sure you do, because gambling is this huge thing now. It's something that this won't be the end of it, right? Just like we're like, this is the very beginning of college players getting paid and gambling being damn near accessible no matter where you are. There are recipes for disaster from this. You hope that you draft players that would be smarter than to get busted. But the Lions, it's not just Jameson Williams. It was 4 players and 5 or 6 coaches.
It wasn't coaches, but it was player personnel.
Personnel, excuse me. You're right. Right. Excuse me. Poor sense of word. But people, There's like 10 people associated with this.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell wants to instill this be you mentality, and that's fucking phenomenal. We saw over Hard Knocks. We love this team because he lets us be us. Kelvin Shepard loves to coach on this team because he lets him be him. If you're going to do that, you still have to have an inkling of what's happening throughout your locker room. This can't happen. This can't happen ever again. And that's what circles me back to my original idea, which was suspend JMO all season. Barry Hill, sure, I don't care, all season. This will never happen again. JMO getting 6 games, I'm sorry, but that door is open for this to happen again. Maybe not for JMO. I would fucking hope not for Jameson. But this leaves the door open, in my opinion, for someone doing it again. And it's nerve-wracking to me. I think you need to come down hard on every single person that was associated in this. But I've calmed down. I've cooled down. Maybe we don't need to give him all year. I'm happy to get him back. Hopefully he learns his lesson. He never gets it going. And he never does it again, excuse me. And he gets it going once he comes back because it's Jameson and we need him. But ultimately, guys, I'm sorry. I don't take this lightly. I just don't, because what's going to happen is this will start to corrupt the NFL. It will. Players will do this on the side and have cousins betting for them and friends betting for them. And it will disrupt this game, and it will ultimately lead to a few fickle years where things are in asterisks, because that's what's going to happen.
If JMO wouldn't had bet that NBA DraftKings, if he would have did that at his house,
then all is fair.
All is fair.
Right.
That's why it was just a dumb decision to be on that Lions practice Wi-Fi in Allen Park, wherever he was. Doing it on the job, it's just, you got to know better than that, man.
Do you think I have to assume that someone led that, right? Someone was.
Yeah, I was just about to bring it up because there's 4 lines. There's no way they were all individually. I hope no one knows.
They're all receivers in the receiver room. You know what I mean?
Antoine Randall, can you answer some questions, my man?
Honestly,
these are all your guys. These are the guys you're closest with. The position coach.
Yeah,
he could have lost his job for this easily.
Yeah, it was.
And I don't know who the ringleader was. I probably wasn't Jameson. Honestly, it sounds more like it's either Moore or Cephas because of their indefinite suspension. It seems like they were a little bit.
And I feel like it started with they were just betting on NBA games at their houses, and it was cool. And then they were winning. And then Jameson, got bored at the training facility when he was injured or whatever, and placed his bet. And all of a sudden, Cephas and CJ Moore were fell into the temptation of, oh my gosh, these NFL games, these are my friends I could bet on. Who the hell is going to know this? But so many people try to think they're smarter than the big dogs. It's no. You might get away for a few months, for a year even, but the NFL, they're going to find out. It just always happens in the end. So,
and it's not even just the NFL. If anything you do, whether you go into private browsing or not, sorry, fellas, but no matter what you do, it is traced. It is tracked, whether that's your computer, your phone, your tablet, your iPad, your TV, your Switch, your Oculus, whatever it may be. That shit is tracked. It does not matter. And if you think I am going to be they'll never know. I'll go into private browsing and I'll go to FanDuel and they'll never know that everything is tracked. If you're going to be betting on Lions facility, you better have your bookie there on the facility with you and just be talking to them so there ain't no trace and nothing. You know what I mean? I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, and hell, why did they just fucking bet amongst themselves? Yo, man, $100 cash.
Actually, I don't even think that's legal.
It's not, but I feel like it's a little bit.
You're right. Right.
There's a theory about CJ Moore because you mentioned, Nick, how sports gambling has just totally exploded in the last year or two.
Yeah.
They have so many different props you can put down on for NFL games, and one of those props is punt fakes. And if CJ Moore knew that it was a hype, they were practicing it in practice, who knows?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to put Lions successful punt fake, throw a $1,000 on it for whatever the odds, come out with some money. He's not making that much as, just a core special team player.
Right.
And the other,
I feel like Vegas would see like maybe like 50 picks put on that. All of them $5 or less because someone is trying to, people are trying, and then some random person is like $4,000 on this. I think Vegas would be like, "Who put that bet? Oh, he plays for the Lions? Yeah. No.
Yeah, they're like, wait, the guy Quintez Cephas. Huh. Yeah, that's exactly.
Quintez Cephas props 3 catches are over. He's like, well, I'm not playing today. I'm gonna put that under.
I will say, literally,
he's gonna make money, and that'll disrupt games.
In the next like 3 to 5 years, I'd say 3 to 5 years, we're gonna honestly see hopefully we don't see a legit problem, but it very well could happen because you're gonna get like 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old kids that are in college that are, probably getting away with, betting on NFL games or whatever. I don't know what the rules are in college, but
I don't think you can bet there either, but they're getting NIL money, and what you're about to say, what I think you're about to say is I think
effect.
Yeah, it'll all happen in NCAA too. Like we're gonna start getting. This is what I'm saying about getting Jameson like locked down now. Like you're right, Adam. You are 100% right. This stuff will happen, and as soon as like colleges started doing boosters and shit like that, we started seeing bad things will just come and people will try to push the boundaries, especially if you're like 17, 18 years old and you get $1,000 a month, right? Which maybe doesn't seem like a lot, but to a 17-year-old or coming from, South New Orleans, like that's just so much money for him. He's going to try to double that, quadruple that, pay off things, help people out. It's going to become a thing, just as we see a lot of things, because in the world, everyone tries to push the boundaries. What's the limit? How much can I get for this? You know what I mean? And right now, gambling, I think, Adam, I assume you did, maybe it was you, Julius, someone retweeted someone else's tweet that said, these suspensions are brought to you by FanDuel betting and DraftKings betting and Prize Picks and everything else.
And it's like, and win Terry's money,
And win Terry's money. Like, because that's so right.
The Athletic, actually.
Yes. Yeah. And that was a great tweet because that's so true. We're suspending these guys for betting and then shoving betting down everyone. Go watch cable. If you don't have cable, go sit down at a bar, right? And just watch ESPN for 1 hour and you tally how many times you see a betting commercial. And if it's under 20 in 1 hour of programming, if it's under 20, I'll give you like $5 because honestly, realistically, it's so
sports betting commercials are probably the most. I mean, just off the top of my head, are probably the most or one of the most popular like types of commercials. And on radio, I can guarantee you they're the most popular. Well, depending on what you listen to, we'll say it probably,
especially 97.1 though, especially.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, any sports talk show. Speaking of that, we are brought to you by
presented by Prize Picks for like a minute. You know what I mean? Like everyone is.
But enough of all that. There was another big news to be dropped actually a couple hours ago. Aaron Rodgers finally gets dealt to the New York Jets. He is gone, folks. The Lions, this was just a perfect ending. We kicked him not out of the playoffs, but just closed the door on the chances. Kirby Joseph got his last ball thrown as a Packer in Lambeau Field. He lost his last game in Lambeau Field. It was the perfect way to send him off after all the things he has tortured us with, all the face mask grab, the Hail Marys, just everything. So Rodgers being gone is awesome. And the final cherry on top, Lions got more for Matthew Stafford than they got for Aaron Rodgers. So proves the debate. Matthew Stafford's always been better than Aaron Rodgers.
100%. I'm a little bittersweet about it. I think I've mentioned this on the show a couple times. Maybe you guys remember. I wanted to beat Aaron Rodgers. I wanted to win the division over Aaron Rodgers once in my lifetime. Aaron Rodgers can soundly go to sleep for probably the rest of his life unless something crazy happens where he comes to Minnesota just like Brett Favre did, and that's even something that I predicted before. But if that doesn't happen, Brett Favre can soundly go to sleep every night for the rest of his life knowing that the Lions never won the division while he was in that division. Not to say that he won the division every single time, but the Lions never won it while he was in that division. So I think that's sad. I don't like that. I really wish Aaron Rodgers was here. And now that we've finally got under his skin, now he's running with his tail tucked between his legs. I don't like that. I wish he was still here. I wish we still had these competitive games with him where we could beat him. And beating Green Bay with Jordan Love will not, I'm sorry, it will not feel the same as beating Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. It will not. It will be great, and it will be fun, and we'll be excited, and it'll happen probably 10 straight times in a row. But realistically, it will never feel as good as it would have beating Aaron Rodgers. But whatever, he's gone, and that's just my own personal,
I beg to differ, Nick. I'm glad he's gone too. But I'm not gonna miss him in like, man, I wish we could have beat him kind of way. I'm just glad he's gone. That's how much I hate the man. I mean, I have some of my worst memories as a Lions fan under the smug face of Aaron Rodgers.
True.
And honestly, what would feel better is if the Lions take over the North and go on a playoff run and meet that man in the Super Bowl and beat him there. That'd feel better. And I'm very, very, very much happy that we went to Lambeau Field. The Detroit Lions went to Lambeau Field, a place where, like, my whole childhood we couldn't win at, and ended his career. It's just a great lasting memory for Aaron Rodgers. But if that Super Bowl one comes true, it'd be even sweeter. Bye-bye, Aaron. I won't miss you.
Bye-bye.
I agree. I kind of agree with both of you. Where Nick, like, there was part of me that's like, I wish Aaron Rodgers saw, like, oh, Jameson Williams suspended 6 games. The Lions are starting to become a demise. The Vikings are trying to look for a new quarterback. The Bears are still trash. Should I run this back? And then Rodgers, they draft a first round. They draft, Jackson Smith and Joe or wherever his last name is. And they get him a first-round wide receiver, and he runs it back. And then, whoop, bam! The Lions just smack him right in the face. Lions go a nice little 12-5. Packers go 9-7, miss the playoffs. And it's just like a punch to the face as opposed to, like, the cherry on top. Because with Julia's situation, where the situation we got, where Rodgers is gone, I don't have to see his face ever again unless it's in the Super Bowl, which would be insane. A Lions versus Jets Super Bowl might be something that I have to root for because both teams have been in poverty for so long. Both teams haven't won a Super Bowl ever, or like the first or second one ever. I think the Jets won with Namath or whatever, but it would be kind of a crazy story. So I know it's wishful thinking, but I am glad that Rodgers is gone. I just hate that, like, narrative of him and the refs and just like all that crap. I want to just finally be able to just whoop some Packers ass each year. Now, I will say the Packers kind of flipped the script on us. They are now the team that has nothing to lose. So if they lose, they lose. We were supposed to lose to the Lions. But if they beat us now it's like, oh my gosh, we can beat you with Jordan Love too? You guys are terrible. So the Lions have a little more weight on our shoulders with this rivalry. But I think we can go on a nice little run. So hopefully something similar to what Rodgers or Favre did to us.
We'll see.
The Packers are going to win 6 games with Jordan Love next year.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I could see that. About right.
And then real quick, this popped up. So I was trying to see if there would be any chance of us playing the Jets in 2024 because they do have some of the teams set for our 2024 schedule. And guess who? If you look up the 2024 Lions schedule, guess who comes to Detroit?
The Jets?
The LA Rams and probably maybe Stafford.
I'm wearing a Stafford shirt right now. Oh, that's ironic that we're talking about him.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I would kind of be bummed if he retired this year and next year didn't come. That makes sense, but whatever. Whole different story. You guys know what you're here for. You're here to hear our final mock draft. We'll be doing it on the old PFF mock draft simulator. Julius, got that baby fired up. Here we go.
I'm ready to go.
We are just going to kind of rotate picks. I will start it off. And then
the reason Adam won starting off is we had to guess on how many runs the Tigers would score. I believe this was last Friday or Saturday. Julius hopped in with the quick 7+, he said. He was like, I believe 7+. And Adam was like 4 or under, I believe. And he was like, there's probably not even a chance we get to 4, but Riley Green might hit a home run, which did that. I don't even know if that was the reason that we had 1 run, but I said 5 or 6. We ended up scoring 1 run, and Julius was way wrong. So he's drafting last for having faith in the Tigers.
Never trust the Tigers offense.
Right, exactly. That's a lesson that we all learned. That's what the moral of that story was. So Adam's leading us off. I'll go second. Julius third.
Love it. All right.
Oh no, that's ESPN.
Get it going.
All right. We're on the game. Here we go now.
Okay.
Oh, that went real like chalky, didn't it?
They went very chalky.
This like last time it was like Nolan Smith first overall.
I know. So they obviously haven't realized that Will Levis is now the top odds to go number 2. So not saying he's locked in to go number 2, but I don't know. You never know with the NFL draft. But per DraftKings, he's minus 140 to go in that second spot. But Stroud goes there, then Jalen Carter at 3, Richardson 4, and Will Anderson at 5. So that, I believe, leaves us with, I don't see his names. Where's Tyree Wilson?
He's like, in PFF, he's like 25 or 28 or something like that. I don't know why they rank him so low.
Him?
But PFF is not the consensus ranking, so feel free to jump. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, yeah, I think we go Tyree Wilson. He was the guy I was thinking. I know it's like a long shot because the odds have, flip-flopped. And personally, I don't think we get Tyree Wilson, but you never know in this draft. One thing I will throw out at you guys, if this exact, let's say Tyree Wilson goes 5 or Will Anderson goes 5, if we're up with Witherspoon and either Will Anderson or Tyree Wilson, Brad Holmes drafts Devin Witherspoon over one of those edge rushers. How you going to feel, Nick? Would you be okay with that?
For sure, because it's Brad Holmes, and I'd be like, yes, sir, I'm buying a Witherspoon jersey tomorrow. But like I told you guys on my spicy takes, I think Tyree Wilson is ranked above him in our big board, and I truly think that we'll be taking Tyree Wilson over everyone given the opportunity. The Condor, as we are trying to get his name to be. But if he does, I mean, again, it's Brad Holmes. You can't, like, the question is so mute because anything Brad Holmes does, again, he could draft, you know what I mean, like freaking Betty White, and we'd be like, okay. I mean, rest in peace. I couldn't think of anyone that was old and alive still, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, he could draft anyone.
There are some Eric Ebron type things I don't want Brad Holmes to do, but at 6 in this situation where both elite defenders that I love, Jalen Carter and Will Anderson, are gone, and only Will Levis is the only real quarterback there other than Hooker. I'm cool with the Lions moving down, but I'm cool. I'm also cool with Tyree. I'm not as high on Tyree Wilson as others, just personally on my board. He's not my ideal choice at 6, but like I said, I will
go Witherspoon over Tyree Wilson.
I'm cool with Devin Witherspoon, and at this point, I might even be okay with Bijan Robinson. No. I have dreams about Bijan, but I have dreams about him at like 18.
He ain't making it to 18. He is not making it to 18. He will not make it to 18. He will in this draft right now, but he will not in the NFL draft, in my opinion.
Las Vegas, Atlanta want to trade 7 or 8. I'm good with Bijan there. At 6, though, I was hoping for one of those main defenders, but I can see why Tyree Wilson is the choice.
All right. Final question, boys. Do we want to go accuracy or do we want to go from the heart?
From the heart, dude. Get whoever you like.
Go from the heart as if you're Brad Holmes himself.
All right.
I think everyone in the world is done with accurate mocks because they're all probably the most inaccurate things. Exactly.
Wrong.
And if in fact the drafts from the heart are probably more realistic these days, you know what I mean? So.
I agree.
Whoever the hell you want. If you want Will Levis there, then get him and defend yourself. You know what I mean?
Right. You're the guy. This is your
He's got a strong arm.
You're the guy who did not trust the Tigers offense. I'm the idiot that did. This is your pick.
That would be crazy though. If Brad Holmes took Will, like if this situation happened, Brad Holmes took Will Levis. That would be crazy.
Yeah, a quarterback is not that far fetched to me. No matter any of these 4 quarterbacks.
I like Tyree here. I think we get our big boy edge rusher at plus 1,200.
The Condor 6.
And yes, as of now, the 6th overall pick, it does have DraftKings has cornerback at minus 130, defensive lineman plus 100, quarterback plus 1,000. And then safety? Oh, that's it.
Brian Branch. Okay, I'm on the board now.
Oh, Deontay Banks just went. Oh,
So did Joey Porter. So everyone looking for cornerbacks. We just saw three straight corners. Bro. You're right. Christian Gonzalez, Joey Porter Jr., Deontay Banks.
Making you work for this one, Nick.
Yeah, for real.
Bijan goes to Green Bay.
Can you scroll down on these guys that we're looking at too? Bijan to Green Bay would be so crazy. That Aaron Jones, Bijan Robinson, and AJ Dillon.
Three-headed monster right there.
Jordan Love would never have to pass the ball. That would be crazy. Okay. Realistically here, like just to give like people some ideas, I think the Detroit Lions are really thinking Osiris Torrance from Jeff Risdon. It sounds like they like him a lot. We do need interior offensive line. Graham Glasgow at 32 years old isn't going to be a forever fix. He's a great Band-Aid, I think, for this year because he's a good player and he wants to come home. We have a very good offensive line, but throughout time, these guys will get older and will cost more money. It's just inevitable that we draft offensive line, I think. I don't know if that's going to be this pick right now, but just for everyone listening, thinking, what will the Lions do here? Don't be surprised if it's not super sexy and it's a guard named Osiris Torrance from Florida, who's a very good player, and we will end up ultimately enjoying him. But there's a lot of other good players out there. There's some good wide receivers. Jackson Smith already went, which kind of stinks. I honestly, at this position, would love to just like fill our defensive line or secondary, cornerback being gone. Brian Branch, who plays slot corner. We got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who will be doing that in my opinion. But he's on a 1-year deal. If he does prove it this year, he probably won't come back because Brad Holmes just probably won't pay him and he'll get more money, and good for him. And that's okay. But we have him for this 1 year. That's why we're trying to win the Super Bowl this year. Because of that, adding Brian Branch would really help out in our nickel defense. But also adding Kalisha Cansey or Mozzie Smith, who I did in a mock and everyone hated, but I fucking love him. He is a freak talent who would help our interior defense line amazingly. I will not reach that high. I will continue to get our defensive line set up and give me Kalisha Cansey, and let's just get an edge in Tyree Wilson and an interior defense line with Cansey as our first 2 picks. And our defensive line, which in my opinion is the most important position outside of quarterback, right above offensive line, is bolstered. And we still have Aleem McNeil. We still got John Kaminsky back. We still got Isaiah Buggs back. We have this immaculate defensive line with Hayden Hutchinson and James Houston. Just great. Add these 2 and I'm all in. So give me Cansey. Little undersized, but we love him.
Like it. Beefing up this defensive lineman, Tyree Wilson, Khalid Cansey. Don't think anyone really complain with that. All right, Julius, firing up the first pick in the not the first pick of the second round, but our first pick of the second round.
Our first pick of the second round, pick 48. So I'm going to go down the board and see who was selected. So I see some names. Branch. Yeah. You see Osiris went to the Bills at 27. Quentin Johnson to the Eagles.
That was the guy I was thinking about. Mm-hmm. We interviewed him at the Combine.
Mozzie Smith to Seattle at 37. That's a steal.
Yeah.
And they got Will Anderson early in the draft. Jack Campbell, 43 to the Jets. Darnell Washington that was the guy I was looking at.
That would have been a great pick for us.
And then Hendon Hooker a pick before. So just looking at the board, the Lions have added to the defensive line early in the draft, thanks to you 2 gentlemen. And so see some guys that I like on my board. Yeah.
Like who?
Oh, I see. We already drafted Tyree Wilson, so we don't necessarily need Adebawori, but I do like him. I liked his combine. I like his fit. I also like Henry Bitten.
Me too.
Even though
I probably actually like him a little bit over Kalisha Cansey. You know what I mean? Honestly, but we already drafted Cansey, but I like Bitten a lot.
Bitten, his tape pops. He has that it factor, that nastiness that you think that Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes is trying to add to this team. But I'm also seeing some receivers.
Which we as of right now, what, Marvin Jones, our wide receiver too?
I know, yeah.
I really like Julius Brents, not only because we share a first name, but he's has such a long wingspan, and he is, he also seems to have something about him that I would think that would attract. Okay, so I'm gonna make this quick because I don't want to hold up the show. But I see Luke Musgrave right there, tight end from Oregon State. He's pretty much a receiver. He can maybe help fill up maybe a small void in the receiving game, not as much in the blocking game. That Jameson Williams is going to be going those first 6 games. But like I said,
hard.
It is hard, especially when you get to the second round.
Okay.
And
Cody Mock without his 2 teeth. You know what I mean?
He can play guard too. Cody Mock can play guard.
Did you guys see on Good Morning Football? They talked a little bit about Cody Mock, and he, for his 7th grade talent show, did the Napoleon Dynamite dance with his Vote Pedro shirt on and UGG boots on, and everyone was loving it. It was great. It was great.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and go cornerback. I'm gonna add to the defense even more. I'm gonna take Julius Brents out of Kansas State. I can just see this just being a defense. Let's just keep adding to the defense. Our weakest area of the team last season. I wouldn't have mind going wide receiver. I just didn't see one I wanted to reach for. Same with quarterback, with Hooker being gone. I would have considered Hooker at 48 very strongly. So I think I'm gonna go Julius Brents. He's just a late riser in this draft process, and I just I think he's a first round value really in the second round here at 48. What do you guys think?
I like it.
Need cornerback, but I also want to add a question after you pick him and before you pick Adam. You guys are a lot more about this like backup quarterback situation or whatever. But if at 18. So you have 5 years with this player you draft. If Hendon Hooker is still there, where you can sit him for 1 year behind Goff while he recovers from his ACL, and then you may have something and you may not. And let's all keep in mind that quarterbacks that are drafted in the first round do not carry a lot of trade value. We see that in Trey Lance. We see that it's not like we're going to trade him away. If Jared Goff goes out here and wins the Super Bowl with us and whatever, and we just got Hendon Hooker, we're not going to be able to trade him for anything more than like a third rounder. So let's just even get that idea out of here. But is Hendon Hooker an idea at 18? Mr. Yawns a lot, Adam, why don't you start with you?
God, man, I keep fucking.
We need to get you a 5-hour energy. Gosh darn it, you're yawning too much over there.
I don't know what's going on, but
Hendon Hooker at 18. Would you be like?
You know me. I like Hooker, but
I know you do. That's why I'm curious at where. I don't know. Because you get that 5th year option if you get him in the first round, and then you can sit him for that first year. You can redshirt him and still get 4 years.
We can trade back, and he fell to the 20s. Like we traded back. I don't know. Straight up to 18 because it's kind of such a murky little spot. Maybe a wide receiver or something. Someone trades up for wide receiver, or yeah. Anyways, but at 18, I think that would be a little too high.
Okay, Julius.
Hooker,
it's weird. If Hooker was 22 years old,
it is also too high for me based on Hooker's age and injury history. I see at pick 48. At pick 48, I can see taking a shot on a player like Hooker, like you said, sit behind 1 year and then come in. We don't have to pay Goff that much money if he works out. If not, he could just be a backup for a few years, a good backup, hopefully, but not at 18.
Okay, just curious. Sorry to interrupt. Adam, you're up.
Oh,
two
good.
D-line in the corner.
Pick 55. All right. So
look at all these guys because I consider too.
Yeah, exactly. Because they know, everyone knows. It's a make or break pick, and that's why the second round. That's why the Lions have stunk because we haven't had a good second round pick in 85 years until last year. What was it? 2 years ago, whenever we drafted someone that was really good from the second round. In fact, who did we draft in the second round last year? Josh Paschal, who didn't work out yet.
Yep.
Wasn't there someone else? Am I just blanking? Kirby was third round.
Yeah, I think we only had 1 second round pick because we in the trade with JMO, and we had 2 in the third.
Who was the second round pick before that? It wasn't Levi, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And the third pick the second round pick before that wasn't Swift, was it?
I believe so.
Yes, it was.
We haven't drafted a good second-round player since
No,
1981.
you haven't.
No, actually, Swift was the end of the first round. We traded up for Swift.
No,
We
he
did
was
draft-
not. No, he was not. He was second round.
You
He
was
was
second round. Swift was second
and
round.
you guys did a live show for it.
Yeah, Swift was second round. Darius Slay is the only good second round pick that like the Lions have drafted. Like the only consistently good. We've seen flashes out of a few players, but Slay has kind of.
That's why these second round picks. That's why Julius, your pick, and Adam, your pick right now are the most vital picks in this draft. Our first round, he's gonna be great. Don't worry. Both of our first rounds, they're gonna be okay. Don't worry. This second round pick has been a bugaboo for us, and we need to cure it right now. Julius has started it. Adam, bring it home.
We've went a lot of defense.
Only defense.
Some stuff up here. But I
Hader's
kind of
house.
wish
Hatter's
that-
house.
they were. Oh, all right.
Hatter's house. I was just reading his name. That's a good name. Mad Hatter.
If we didn't just take Julius Brents, I'd go DJ Turner. But
You get love. I'm glad you took a cornerback, Julius. Way to knock that out the way.
I need that.
Adam's like, you know what? Okay, let's just go with Jake Moody.
No, I kind of like Josh Downs. I mean, by kind of
North
like,
Carolina
he's number 2 in odds to go first wide receiver off the board. So granted, it's not the best odds. Jackson Smith, Jigba, whatever, is like minus 400. And then it's Josh Downs at like plus 600.
That's
So,
shocking to me.
big swing, but he still is the one that's like, if there is one guy to dethrone JSN, it's Josh Downs. And he's a guy who I've seen a lot about on Twitter, just like, him getting his body right, getting his body fat down, working out, getting bigger. He's 5'10", a small guy, kind of like an Amon-Ra, but what's better than one Amon-Ra too, We aren't going to have Jameson to stretch the field, so we are going to need another, legit pass catcher. And this dude was catching balls from Luke May, one of the May brothers, the very good quarterback from North Carolina, who's going to be a top 5 draft pick next year. So he's used to playing with, a legit star quarterback, in which he will be with Jared Goff. So Josh Downs, we passed up on wide receiver or even offense the first 3 picks. So I think we go wide receiver with this 4th pick. It's something that I feel like Brad Holmes wanted to address, and now will have to address because of the Jameson Williams issue. So give me Josh Downs. I think he could be a solid contributor, week 1 for us.
Agreed. And he has had a lot of quarterback help too, or just like benefits of playing with a good quarterback, which only can make you better throughout the NFL when you get to like a good quarterback instead of going from someone who's rough. Because before Mr. May, he had Sam Howell, who right now is listed as starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders. So way to go, North Carolina, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, did Jalen Hyatt survive that, just out of curiosity?
Cedric Tillman did not, so I would say no.
That's exactly the first thing I saw was that Tennessee. Okay, there's no way Jalen Hyatt did. Okay, because I probably would have went down with Jalen Hyatt. If he would have made it as far, I would have grabbed another receiver, but he didn't. That's okay. I don't want Rashee Rice, and we already got a cornerback.
Did Hyatt? I think Hyatt went before.
I think
before
so.
Downs.
Did he?
He went to Atlanta at 44.
Oh, he did. Okay. Yeah, I'm way off. I missed him when we were doing that last one. Okay. Anyways, we're looking over here at the guys that we have, and I'm squinting at my computer because my eyes are shot. Don't grow up, everyone.
Sidney Brown jumps out at me. Not just because of the name, but I see like safety, Illinois, Kirby Joseph tag team.
That would be pretty fun, wouldn't it? That would be pretty fun. To me, if we were looking safeties, Jordan Battle would be the guy that I like over him. But I'm not looking defense. I'm actually.
What positions you looking at, Nick?
I'm actually looking at them all. But we don't even have to go to positions because I think we're just gonna let's just keep scrolling down a little bit. Right now, my eyes are leaning towards running back, linebacker, and guards. Those are my 3 eyes that I'm keeping my eyes on. And my favorite linebacker, also A.T. Perry is a very good wide receiver. And if we did want to double down on wide receiver, because I'm not confident in ours, we could do with A.T. Perry. He would be good. But we're going to just go with one of my favorite linebackers in this draft. He's all the way up at the top. Deuce Vaughn I also like. We're going to go with Demarion Overshown, linebacker out of Texas. This boy is a stud. You are going to want to get to know him, whether he comes to Detroit or not. In the NFL, he will be a spectacular player. Overshown. Demarion.
That's an awesome name.
DeMarvion. I said Demarion. I always thought it was Demarion, actually.
What a cool name. Overshown.
Yeah, Overshown, dude. Let's get him. Yeah, we got him. All right, we're moving. And now Julius gets to start the fifth.
The long fall.
I know. This is going to suck. Like,
I'm sure.
Casually watch it in the kitchen, or just hanging out.
Be Saturday morning. I mean, I'm kind of not even watching the draft until the 5th round comes. That's that whole fourth. But I guess Detroit could trade up though in the 4th round.
I'm telling you, there's a huge gap between picks 81 and 152. Brad Holmes is going to get back into that thing. But say he stays put, and I'm at 152. This is when we start to get in the thicket in round 5. Just looking at late round guys I like, looking at positions maybe that we haven't touched on. Let me just get this set up real quick.
So he's looking at.
I don't mind doubling. I don't mind doubling down on a receiver also.
No,
like you said, Nick.
Right. Honestly, Khalif and Reynolds, and we just the thing is, we lost 4 wide receivers.
Right.
2 of them for half a year, but 2 of them for the ever. Like we are going to add receivers, probably 2.
Michigan love. More Michigan love. I do like Olowatami. He's one of the best centers in college football the last couple of years. I do like him out of Michigan.
We did lose Evan Brown too, our backup center. So
this is true. He would add depth at multiple positions. Could play guard. Could play center. Sean Tucker, I like out of Syracuse, even though he wasn't able to test with his pro day and his combine. I do like his body of work. Because I'm also looking at running backs, like you mentioned, Nick. You start to, think about these positions later on.
Yeah, we're adding depth now. We're, in 5th round, we're not trying to get an immediate starter like Kirby or I'm sorry, like Rodrigo, who ended up being one. Like that's just not what you're looking for. You hope to find it, but you're looking more for a guy like James Houston, who might not come on until the 10th week and then blow up. You know what I mean? Like guys that just need a little bit extra to find who they are, which is great.
So, just looking at the board,
Julius
they took a lot of guys. See, this big gap I was just mentioning. A lot of guys I like went in this gap. I'm just looking over to it. So I do like Olowatami right here at this point at pick 152. I think he could be a long-term starter on this team. We don't know how long that right guard spot is going to be kind of take the field. So I'm going to go Olowatami right here.
I like it.
And then, a little pop to 159 there.
Adam's got both the pops, like quick little bursts. So let's see what Adam does with this one.
We're falling back to 5th. I do like Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I wouldn't be opposed with him.
That was the guy we were. No, that's not the guy. Never mind.
I would like to get him in the 6th round. I know we're running thin on picks here. We only got a couple left. We got 2-3 left.
We got
this
is we each get one more pick.
So this is the Jeff Okudah pick actually.
Yeah. All right. Fucking draft a cornerback for let's just see if he becomes better than Okudah.
That would if we did draft, a cornerback, any type of defensive player really, and he became a superstar, that's just another little gold star you add to Brad Holmes, big old SpongeBob board of gold stars.
Especially if it's or just yes, for sure, 100% like what you're saying for defensive player, but especially if it's a cornerback, that's a couple gold stars. You know what I mean? If you go out and draft a cornerback that's better than Jeff Okudah with this pick. That's just a middle finger to Bob Quinn. It's such a big middle finger to him. It's one of those foam fingers, but it's a middle finger, and it's just.
Are you eyeing a certain position, Adam?
Pull up.
Do I look like Bob Quinn with my baseball bat?
Do wide receiver, running back, and cornerback.
Wide receiver, quarterback, cornerback. You're crazy, Adam.
Man. Yeah, I don't know. Sean Tucker, he does stand out at me. And I feel like there is going to come a time where like Craig Reynolds is going to be like, yo, I can go be a good backup for someone else. I don't want to be third string no more. And we got Swift and we got Monty, obviously. Swift, obviously, with the injury issues. Monty also not the most non-injury prone guy. So, yeah, I'm going to go Sean Tucker, and hopefully that Dorian Thompson-Robinson is there. And either I will be back up or I could be there.
I'm pretty sure that was your last pick. So I don't know if you're coming back up.
PFF says shades of Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
It's a great comparison for a 5th-round pick, Adam.
Okay.
Agreed. All right. We got 2 picks left. I am not drafting a backup quarterback.
183.
Sorry to tell you. And he's there, Gavin. I'm not going to take him.
Dude.
We will not be taking Dorian Thompson-Robinson for many of reasons I've listed.
I should trade the pick
previous
with
shows. We should have traded picks. You're right. I'm trying to recall. Okay, so we got our center, we got our running. Oh, let's look at tight ends. What tight ends survived out this late here? Now that we're starting to get into this, tight end, safety, tight end, safety. No tight ends. We don't like them tight ends. Get them out of here. I almost like Helens. I'm not gonna draft another. So right now, just like I would think that Detroit, I don't know, maybe they do just draft best available, but I'm just trying to like shore up any positions. Can you add wide receiver into this? Right now, Anthony Johnson does seem like obviously he's the highest rated per PFF, but you can't just look at that and be like, oh, he needs to be the best. He needs to be this pick because he dropped so far. It's like PFF is not. They're not gold. They don't have everything under. They're not the script of the NFL. Let's go with Bryce Ford Wheaton. Actually, can we just look at him real quick?
I'm not opposed because that's the guy who I was thinking of too.
Exactly. And he's 6'4", he's tall, he's big. We already drafted a 5'9" wide receiver to go along with Amon-Ra St. Brown. We have Jamal, who's 6'1", 6'2", maybe. Marvin Reynolds and Khalif, who I don't know, they got to be like 6'2" and under. This will be probably our tallest wide receiver. Let's get Bryce Ford Wheaton out of West Virginia and hope that he becomes a solid red zone target.
Like it.
Leave it up to Julius to finish us off.
194. I think we've had a great draft so far. We'll see what PFF says in a moment.
I agree.
I'm just going to look at a couple positions here.
Before we end the show and we do our goodbyes and forget about everything, Julius, make sure you screenshot this and then send it into our chat so we can tweet it.
Most definitely.
Special teams, you Jake Moody drafted motherfucker. You got to get 2 Michigan guys. I knew he would. I knew drafting with these. That's why I got Jaden Reed last.
Listen, I'm just looking at the board. We're at 194.
Assuming makes an ass out of you and me. You're right. I shouldn't have done that.
There are a couple guys I like. I'm gonna talk about real quick, just for people out there to know. Evan Hull from Northwestern. This guy could end up being a late round steal. He's very fast. He's really good catching the ball at the backfield, and he just has juice. Ibrahim was really good in Minnesota. Too many injury concerns. Hunter Luepke, he's the best fullback in the draft. I could see the Lions utilizing him with their run-happy kind of bully ball they like to play. He'll fit right in.
Lou Nichols also. We can't go without
Lou Nichols.
Lou Nichols.
Oh, yeah. He's pretty good out of Central.
Fire up chips.
Now I see Jake Moody. I think he's going to be a really good kicker in the NFL.
Bryce Behringer.
Get him.
Nothing to do.
No, get him. Yeah, I give you guys shit, but you know what I mean? Like, we do need
I think he's going to be a pretty good kicker. Yeah, I'm going to go Jake Moody. Because, I'm tired of the kicking uncertainty. Did we forget that's still a thing? I mean, what's the kid's name we've had the last couple years?
I'm pretty sure we just re-signed the Money Badger, though.
We re-signed Michael Badgley, but hey, how are we feeling about Michael Badgley? C+? Is that good enough for a playoff run?
Is
that good enough for a playoff run, boys? or do we want to solidify this thing and draft the next Justin Tucker?
We do. You look at Super Bowl winning kickers. You know what I mean? Harrison, Butker. These guys can boot the ball. You know what I mean? You need to be able to boot the ball.
Let's go.
Let's go. That does it. That's the draft. That's the final mock draft.
Unfortunately, though, Bryce Ford
can't
wear his number 0 because Marvin Jones rocked number 0 this year. So it'll be interesting. But kind of waiting for this final mock draft.
Grading. F for Tyree. Blah,
Oh,
blah,
wow.
B+ for Julius Brents. They didn't like Jake Moody either. And Overshone gets a bad grade. Ultimately, the PFF can go screw itself because
they love touchdowns. They love Hansey.
Yeah.
I just don't get how Tyree Wilson falling to 6 is an F. Like at least like a C.
It's just off of PFF grades, dude. And PFF grades Tyree worse than what the NFL grades him.
What did we say in the beginning? We're all wrong.
Yeah. That's why I cannot wait to listen to the show next year. I still have to listen to last year's show, but I'm pretty sure I went off on Kirby, so I hope that everything sounds good about that. But I think 2 years ago we drafted Amon-Ra St. Brown as well. I believe we got at least 2 years running of drafting one of the players correctly in our last mock draft. So
we'll definitely share this, save it, and see what it looks like come this weekend.
Yeah, thank y'all for listening. Go Lions, dude. Draft week. Golly, dude.
Woo.
Draft week, baby. All right. As always, you guys can check us out at Honolulu Blues _ on Twitter. You can check us out individually at Nick Faber NFL for Nick, the 5th top for Julius, and then Honolulu Blues _ as well for me. As always, give us a like, subscribe, go Lions. Final mock draft, boys. Draft time will be Thursday. We will hopefully be doing some sort of live stream or something.
I think I'm going to be live streaming from like the beginning of the fucking draft, honestly.
Love it,
guys.
man. And yeah, just pop in, just
Lions.
roll with the commentary. People you want to tweet at, commentary.
If y'all make it on, sweet. I know I'm going to be drunk and bored, so I might as well just start a stream and just see how it goes,
Hey,
say a lot of profanity. Don't join if you don't want to hear profanity. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, we will see you guys Thursday then. And as